Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, September 10th, 2023. It's the MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin, joined by my co-host here, Mr. Big Marcel. We're going to be previewing UFC, Noche UFC, Grasso versus Shevchenko 2, and we'll talk a little bit about contender series this week. Because just on the short notice here, guys, I don't have a lot of time. Marcel has something to do, so we have about, I'd say, 40 minutes right now with you guys to break this card down. Then I got to leave, but we're going to preview the whole card. Marcel, hope you're doing well, man. We just recapped UFC 293 as Sean Strickland. If you missed that, go back and listen to it, guys. It was a great, fun podcast episode. Again, we wish we had more time this morning, but it's okay. We're going to break down Noche UFC now. Marcel, just give me your thoughts on this card as a whole.
Not gonna lie, man, it's kind of watered down. It would have been like a big event for the Mexican people, but there are very less Mexican high-level fighters on this card. I think there are some good fighters on the card. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like a huge contender kind of card. I think the co-main event kind of saves it with Kevin Holland, Jack Della Maddalena. But it's like and it's some weird bout ordering as well, to be really honest. So it's like Santiago Ponzinibbio got dropped off the card. Shafkat against Gastelum got dropped off the card. So it's like it's not really a great bout order lineup, in my opinion. But hey, we'll see. Maybe it's fun. We'll see. But yeah, I understand the criticism on this card, but we'll see. I mean, maybe it's a great card. I mean, there was a lot of criticism on the UFC 293 card as well, and it panned out to be a fun one. So yeah, we'll see.
It was definitely a fun one. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, we'll see. But you're right, because it lost a lot of fights, right? Didn't this card lose a couple of fights? How many fights are we down to, Marcel?
We have 5 main card fights and 6 prelims, so 11.
Okay, so 11 fights. All right. So, yeah, I think it had more before. We do have a few really good fights in this card, though, and I'm looking forward to talking about them. Some of the fights, though, did fall off, and then we had a few, like, short notice guys coming in here, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, let's say we get into Marcel, because we don't have a lot of time this morning to break it down. Just really quickly and get some comments. We got our boy Antoine here. Antoine, what's up, brother? We got Marcus here. We got Tristan. Yeah, I did notice the line, man. The line is really shifting. Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, but the thing is, Marcus, we might lose one of them this week. It might get down to like 10. That's what I'm worried about. Anyways, let's get into the card. All right, guys, let's start with the first fight of the night. We're using the UFC stats bout order. And the first fight on the card, Josefine Knutsson taking on Marnic, Mann. And this fight, honestly, should not be happening in the UFC. Like, Dana White, don't get me wrong, Knutsson should have got signed, but Dana White passed on her. Then a few days later, they signed her to fight Jasmine Lucindo on short notice. And then Jasmine has to pull out, and then they sign Marnic Mann. Marnic Mann should not be in the UFC, okay? Like, she didn't earn it. She shouldn't be here. Odds for this fight, Marcel, right now, according to DraftKings, we have, all right, let's take a look at the odds for this one. Minus 500 for Josefine Knutsson, plus 380 for Marnic Mann. I mean, Knutsson wins this fight all day. I think she just outstrikes this girl. I think she could finish her potentially because she didn't finish that fight and Dana White really criticized her. She might be pushing for a finish in this fight. She's taking on an overmatched opponent, taking on a week's notice. Yeah, I'm confident in Knutsson. I'm guessing she didn't leave Las Vegas. She probably stayed in Vegas right after that last fight. And maybe they told her, like, just stick around. Maybe we'll get you a short notice fight one of these upcoming cards if someone gets injured. And that's what happened. So, yeah, I think she wins. What do you think?
I'm happy actually for Knutsson, man, because I think if she fought Jasmine Lucindo, it would be very difficult, Now she got Marnic Mann, and Marnic Mann is like she lost in the contender series last year against Bruna Brazil by that head kick. She's been back to the regional scene and she won there. But I mean, listen, Marnic Mann, I don't know. I like Knutsson. I think Knutsson is fun to watch. I disagree there with Dana was like criticizing us. Like, listen, man, she got the win. She did well. She in my opinion, she deserved the title shot. I would say she deserved the contract. Yeah, I'm thinking Knutsson here. I also think she will finish, man. I think she might TKO or in the first round even. So yeah.
Yeah, I think she's really going to push that finish. Antoine, I love the early Sunday special. No, we do too. It's fun to do it. Yes, that was a crazy knockout. That's why I think she can get knocked again. Knutsson again. Remember, she had that lead leg high kick in the last fight, and she rocked the girl, and then she just pushed her against the fence. That's why Dana was like pissed because there's one thing Dana hates is when a fighter stalls and they push them against the fence after they rock someone or hurt them, right? So we knew that he wasn't going to be a fan of that. Anyway, she's decent though. She's definitely decent. All right, we'll go to the next fight here, Marcel. And actually, UFC Stats is actually listing this as the first fight, but I guess Tapology. I don't know what I'm going to use. I guess Tapology's order because you sent it to me this morning. But they just added this fight, Marcel, a few minutes ago. I don't know if you saw this. They added Charlie Campbell versus Alex Reyes. So this is a short notice fight for Charlie Campbell. Very, very short notice because the Tom Levy pulled out with an illness. Levy would have just beaten Alex Reyes. I don't even know why that fight was happening. To be honest with you, it didn't really make sense to me. This one makes more sense. Reyes, though, it's okay. Let me look at the odds for this one. Minus 375. Or sorry, I got the wrong odds. That's the old odds. 1 second. It's minus 350 for Charlie Campbell, plus 240 for Alex Reyes. I mean, I don't know how you lay minus 340 on Charlie Campbell because the guy's making his debut on super short notice, and we saw him a contender get chinned. But at the same time, you can't bet on Alex Reyes. You just can't. The guy hasn't fought in how many years? 6 years. He's 0-1 in the UFC, hasn't fought in 6 years. I'm shocked he's still on the roster. I know he's had a lot of health issues as well. This is Dominic Reyes' brother, by the way, guys. I just can't really. I mean, he could win, I guess, but I can't pick him. There's no way I can pick him here. This fight's just so weird. It's not really a UFC caliber fight in my opinion. But with Campbell's power, we've seen the power. He should win this fight. That's why he's a big favorite. But there's no way I'd bet on him here. What do you think, man?
Yeah, man. Charlie Campbell wins this fight. I have him with first round knockout. I like him a lot, actually. I think he's a good fighter. He's from Sarah Longo fight team. He did well against Chris Duncan on the Contender Series until he got knocked out. But he was like letting him up in that fight. Man, I'm picking Charlie Campbell here, man. Listen, man, I have all respect in the world for Alex Reyes. Definitely that he comes back after these horrible health things he had. But I think Nolan King did a great article on that on MMAJunkie.com. Definitely check that out. I'm picking Charlie Campbell here. Even as on short notice, he wins this fight. First round knockout of TKO, I think.
Fair enough. He should win. Absolutely. All right, the next fight. I got to be honest, guys. I'm a little surprised this is buried on the prelims because Tracy Cortez is pretty marketable, and then Jasmine Jasudavicius had a really good winner last fight, and yet this is buried on the prelims. I thought for sure this would be on the main card, but regardless, we have a women's fight here between those two, and odds for this one: Cortez minus 130, Jasmine plus 110. So according to the odds, very very close fight. What do you think, man?
You go first. This is a Canadian here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've picked Jasmine yet in the UFC.
You did last time, right? Against Miranda.
No, I didn't pick her.
No, you didn't? Okay.
No. Actually, no, I did pick her against Natalia Silva. Actually, I'm wrong. I picked her against Cancer and Natalia Silva. So well, I guess I'm okay. I should take back what I just said. I actually haven't picked her. I didn't pick her in the last fight, though. That surprised me. But yeah, I mean, this one is interesting because Jasmine, is a big girl for this division, obviously. At 125, she's 2 inches taller. She has 3 inches of reach in this fight. She has good wrestling. She's decent striker. She's decent everywhere. But man, Cortez, I've been on a roll with the 4 straight wins in the UFC, 5 include a contender, and she does have the wrestling too. So this is a close one, Marcel, because really you have 2 fighters that are going to pursue wrestling. I think. I don't think Cortez has looked amazing in the UFC, but she keeps getting it done somehow. And then Jasmine, the same thing. So you got 2 fighters that somehow get it done every single fight. Cortez has that win over Blanchfield. I know you disagree with that decision. It's a few years ago now, but still, it looks really good, right? This was tough, man. I just think my lean is Cortez to grind it out a little bit, like to get some more takedowns in this fight. But Jasmine's good and she's improved. So again, not a fight I'm going to bet on, but I'll take Cortez by decision. I'm pretty sure this fight goes to 3 rounds, though. What do you think?
Yeah, man. By the way, people are really complaining about Tracy Cortez being on the prelims, but let's be really honest. If she was Verna Jandiroba, nobody would care for these people who are complaining right now. So, you know what I mean? It's a close fight in my opinion, to be really honest. I think Jasmine definitely has a size advantage. I think she's stronger. Cortez is really pretty good on the ground with the wrestling. I think we might see a split decision here, man. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think, honestly, Cortez got a lot of favorable matchmaking so far in the UFC. And I think Jasmine did try it, but then she fought Natalia Silva, and that wasn't favorable at all. But we didn't know back then. Man, I'm going for a little upside. I'm picking Jasudavicius here to get the win via split decision. A typical women fight, very close split decision win.
I agree. I think it's going the distance. Maybe that's the play. Just the fight goes the distance because I think it's going to be close in this quarter. Split decision sounds good too. All right, well, the next fight here, we have a potential fight of the night. I would say Edgar Chairez taking on Daniel Lacerda. This fight should be good. Lacerda, I think he went 0-4 so far in the UFC, and he's getting another shot. So you can see what the matchmakers think of him. They like him. There's no doubt about it. Chairez minus 225, Lacerda plus 185. You know, Marcel, like I like Lacerda, but I can't pick a guy who's 0-4. I just can't do it, regardless of how exciting he is. And even though he looked great against the CJ Vergara guy before he got finished, he looked great in that first round. It's just hard for you to pick a guy that keeps losing. And then obviously his opponent here, Chairez. I was at that fight, man, with Tyra and Marcel. He made it fucking close. He dropped him. He had some good position on the ground as well. He did get out grappled. That's why he lost, but the striking definitely showed up. And I thought he looked decent in that fight, to be honest with you, as a big, huge underdog. I think he was like plus like 700 or something. I thought he looked decent. I'm going with Chairez, Marcel, to get the finish in this fight. I don't think it goes 3 rounds. I think he's going to knock out Lacerda. That's my pick. What do you think?
What do I think? That's what I think.
There we go.
Man.
Woof, woof.
Yeah. Again, you know, I'm 1-3 with picking Lacerda, but I'm going to pick him again, dude. I like him a lot. I think he can win the fight. Maybe I'm crazy, but I really like Lacerda, man. You always tell me I'm crazy for picking him, you know, but he's a fun fighter and he can win the fight, I think. I'm going first round. I'm going with a finish TKO first round. You know, I think he's going to do it this time. I think he really needs to win here. I think he knows that, and he's going to go all in, you know. And if he doesn't get the finish, probably Chairez wins later or gets a decision. So.
And this fight is not going the 3 rounds. I mean,
no, I don't think so.
I think, you know, if it's under 2.5, that's a great bet. I think they're going to set it. Let me check if they've set the total, because I think it should be under 1.5. Let me double check it. I don't know if it's up there. But yeah, I think, you know, this fight is going to end really quick. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Drew's not wrong. He's got like no gas tank, right? But he's a fun fighter to watch those 2 minutes. Next fight, we got Roman Kopylov taking on Josh Fremd. I mean, this fight could be in the main card too, and I feel like, you know, Kopylov deserves that. But regardless, this is on the prelims, and then Kopylov right now, Marcel, he's favorite here. Minus 300, plus 240 on Josh Fremd. I'm picking Roman Kopylov. I'm really high on this guy. I think he knocks Josh Fremd out. This guy is a ridiculous striker. The last fight with Ribeiro, that head kick, it was almost like taking a baseball bat and fucking knocking someone out.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was crazy, bro. And then even like the fight before with Puna, that's where I was like, okay, this guy's really good. Like, I'm like, this guy is really fucking good. And we had seen it at times where I still remember that third round of that Albert Derayev fight. He looked really good in that third round, and then he knocked out Chirico. So you knew there was something here, but he's really, you talk about leveling up. You talked about Volkov in the last podcast. I think Kopylov's level up. These Russian dudes just level up out of nowhere. Fremd is a guy I'm not high on. I think he's lucky the UFC re-signed him, to be honest with you. I don't think he's impressed at all in the UFC personally. I think if you're Fremd, you have to finish a guy like Jamie Pickett. He can't do that. How do you beat Kopylov? He's going to grind him out. He's going to take him down. Kobylov's got 90% takedown defense. He's hard to get down. It's hard to hold down. I'm pretty sure Kopylov knocks out Fremd. I'm thinking with a head kick again too, with kicks. What do you think?
I think minus 300 is a little bit low. I would say minus 500 at least, to be honest. I think he knocks Fremd out in the first round as well.
Yeah, I really like him in the spot. I think we both really like him. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. He did take on short notice because they gave him a new contract. Because he wasn't sure. He's like, I don't know if the UFC is going to bring him back. Because let's be honest, Marcel, he hasn't been that exciting, this guy. He had that one, was it the Cedric Dumas? That's really his only good win, because otherwise he hasn't, looked great. All right, guys. Again, we're going through a little faster today, but we don't have a ton of time this morning, so that's why we're doing that. Next up, we have Loopy Godinez taking on Elise Reed. Why is this the featured prelim?
I have no idea.
How could that be right? There's no. I would understand to put Tracy and Jasmine.
Yeah.
What the fuck? This doesn't even make sense. Like, I'm sorry, but these two girls are not exciting fighters. I don't understand this at all. Anyways, the odds for this one, Godinez obviously is favored. Her odds are minus 450, plus 340 on Elise Reed. I'm obviously taking Godinez. I think she takes Reed down. What's Reed's takedown defense number? 50%. It's fucking terrible. Jinyu Fry took her down at will in the last fight. Jinyu Fry took her down 3 times. I'm pretty confident Loopy just takes her down. Now, again, she fights dumb sometimes, right? Like her last couple of fights, Marcel, she just wants to stand and trade. I don't really get it. But I think in this fight, her coaches will obviously look at the tape, I would assume, and see there's a huge hole in Elise Reed's grappling. Again, Elise Reed, Corey McKenna fight taking down 3 times. Sam Hughes taking down 4 times. Loma took her down twice. Melissa Martinez, that super smelly girl, took her down once. The stinky girl. And then even Sarge Eubanks took her. She's been taking down all 6 of her UFC fights. This is an easy fight for Godinez if she fights smart. I think, again, we talk about like minus 440. I think she could be even a bigger favorite here, to be completely honest. I understand it's women's MMA, it's the women's strawweight division, so I get that there's a little bit more variance, but I'm confident Godinez wins this fight probably by decision. But to be honest with you, Marcel, maybe it's a fight she could finish. Maybe she could submit this girl. What do you think, though?
Godinez decision. That's it.
There you go. They should change it. This should not be the featured prelim. Godinez and Russell are close. I agree with that too. Tristan's not wrong because what was that fight she had? The Angela Hill fight? Was that the one where it was like really close? Yeah, she lost, right? Oh, Cynthia Calvillo. Sorry, that was the fight.
Oh, the
I thought Cynthia won that fight.
Yeah,
she should have won that fight, so she got lucky there. She's 5-3. Godinez is not a great fighter, but again, matchups are everything. If she just pursues wrestling, she wins this. She actually should look a minus 1,000 in this fight if she pursues wrestling.
She should have got the decision against Penny, for example, in her debut, I think.
Yes, I agree with that. That was a weird fight with all the backpacks and stuff. That was strange.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the main card, Marcel. We have a fun featherweight bout between Fernando Padilla and Kyle Nelson. The odds for this one have Padilla, he is minus 250, and Kyle Nelson plus 210. Give me your thoughts, Marcel. What do you think?
Yeah, so Fernando Padilla had a great UFC debut, right, against Julian Orosa, where we stopped him in the first round. And Kyle Nelson, yeah, man. I mean, he finally had his. I think he had his best fight last time against Blake Builder. Finally, I picked Blake Builder in that one, but Kyle Nelson did really well. I know he got the win over knockout against Marco Polo Reyes, but fighting wise, I think this was his best fight. But I'm definitely with Padilla here, man. I think Padilla have way more upside in this fight. I think he stops Nelson via TKO in the second round. That's what I see, and I think Padilla has a fun prospect in my opinion.
Good timing there. Sorry, guys. I had to take a phone call really quick during the podcast. That's funny. You picked Padilla by knockout? Is that
TKO second round.
Yeah, that's what I have too. Listen, Nelson definitely is like improved, I would say. Like he looked better in the last fight against Big Builder. And also against Du Choi looked okay. So he's improved and his durability's gone up a little bit, but I don't think he wins this fight. Padilla's got a big knockout power, Marcel. He's the fight with Rosa was very impressive. He's a good prospect. I think he wins this fight. I think he knocks out Kyle Nelson, and even if he doesn't knock him out, I'm pretty sure he wins a decision either way. So I really like him in this fight, and yeah, I think he sparks him too. This is like someone in the comments said. All righty, guys, rolling through the podcast today. Love it. All right, next one we got. Here we go. Daniel Zellhuber taking on Christos Giagos, the Greek, the Spartan. Odds for this one, I'm assuming, Zellhuber's minus 250 as well, plus 220 on Giagos. Daniel Zellhuber wins this fight. I think he knocks Giagos out. I've never been high on Christos Giagos, Marcel. I know he had a really nice knockout against Ricky Glenn. I was really surprised by that, to be honest. But this guy's been in the UFC for a long time. What's his record in the UFC? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think he had 3 stints in the UFC, man.
He has. He's actually 6-6. So he actually has 6 wins in the UFC, which shocks me. And I just don't look at this guy as a good fighter, really, to be honest with you. Clearly, though, he's got some skill. But again, the durability is a question mark. I think he's been finished quite a few times. Marcel, I'm going to go with Zellhuber by knockout. I think Daniel Zellhuber's legit. I know he didn't finish Lando in his last fight, but I think he's due for a finish, especially with the Mexican fans in the crowd. I think they'll root him on here. I'll take him by second round knockout. What do you think?
Yeah, man, Daniel Zellhuber, the Mexican with the German name. Yeah, I would pick him as well, but I'm not as convinced as you are. I think that
I really like this kid, the Golden Boy.
I like him as well, but he hasn't shown great stuff so far in the UFC, in my opinion. So his debut was really underwhelming against Trey Ogden. And I think his second fight against Venada, he did very well. And then he kind of didn't at a certain moment. So if he fights the way he fought against Venada, against Giagos, and I don't mean in the first round, but after that, he might even be in trouble, man. But I got to pick Zellhuber here. I think he wins the decision.
Here's a question. What do you guys think the total will be? It might be out. Let me check. I don't know if it's out, but I think they'll probably set it at 2.5 because Zellhuber's all fights have gone the distance, but lately I think it ends inside the decision. You said decision or
Yeah,
finish?
decision.
So there you go. Marcel and me have a different read, but we both pick the same guy, right? We both are the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys. We have Raul Rosas Jr. getting a tune-up fight against Terrence Mitchell. Raul Rosas Jr. minus 550, plus 360. Terrence Mitchell. Terrence Mitchell shouldn't be in the UFC. He's not that good, like, honestly. And I get it. Raul, man, I ripped him apart after the last performance because he was so cocky going in that fight with Christian Rodriguez, and then laid an egg. He looked terrible. But again, he's so young, Marcel. He's 19? He can easily bounce back.
Still, I think.
Is he actually still 18? Oh my
I
God.
So.
Let me double check. He's still 18 till next month. That is so fucking crazy. So that's the thing, he already has a win in the UFC too, which is nuts. I'm going to take the 18-year-old. I'm going to go with him by submission. What do you think?
Yeah, first round submission. I think this is a perfect fight for him to bounce back here.
Yeah.
The thing is, like you said, he was cocky. And the thing is with this is like, he's very young, but you got to have people with you who are telling you like, dude, slow down. You can come there, but slow down. I don't know if he has that. I know his brothers are mixed martial artists as well as dad is. So I hope they can tell him like, dude, you can become really good, but don't go too quick, And I think the UFC regrets they booked him against Rodriguez last time because Rodriguez is actually really good, So, Rosas. And he's going to struggle again if he doesn't get the finish early, because we saw his gas tank against Rodriguez wasn't good,
Yeah.
But he gets the win, first round submission, I think.
Yep, no, I'm with you on that. I think we definitely have the same pick on this one. Yeah, the Alaska FC guys, except for really Jared Caden, are not very good. I will say that right now. Next up, Marcel, we have the co-main event. I think it's the best fight in the card. I think
People's main event.
It's the best fight in the card, right?
Yeah.
It should be 5 rounds. Too bad it isn't. But either way, Kevin Holland taking on Jack Della Maddalena. Amazing fight. This is definitely going to be a good fight. And the odds, Jack Della Maddalena, minus 120 favorite, plus 100 on Kevin Holland. I'm actually really curious to hear your take on this fight because I think this is one of the more like volatile fights in the card. So let me start you off, Marcel. Give me your pick in the co-main event of Noche UFC.
Let's be honest. If Jack Della Maddalena didn't fight Basil Hafez, what would be the odds for this fight, Adam?
He'd probably be a bigger favorite, like minus 150. I think Kevin Holland gets a lot of respect, though. I mean, he's a good fighter, right? So
definitely. The thing is, like, Basil Hafez doesn't possess the same abilities that Kevin Holland does, and vice versa. You know what I mean? It's a completely different fight, in my opinion.
Completely different.
People think Jack Della Maddalena can fight on the ground. I think he can. I don't think he's really good against really BJJ. How do you say that? Specialist. And Basil Hafez, I won't say he's a huge specialist, but he's definitely a BJJ guy, and he wanted to get the fight to the ground. So Maddalena really would try to keep this fight standing. Plus, the thing is, like, Maddalena in his last fight, he had 2 weight cuts in 1 week. I think that put a lot of shit on him, Listen, man, Holland looked really good against Chiesa, man. Gotta give him credit there. You picked him by submission, which I give you credit for as well.
Plus 500.
Yeah, crazy, amazing. Still, Della Maddalena, in my opinion, is the bigger talent, and doesn't always mean that the bigger talent wins, but I don't see, like, I think Della Maddalena wins the fight via decision. I think it will be a great fight. And I think it will be very competitive, but I see Jack winning.
Well, it's a tough one, man. This was tough, guys, honestly. Like, don't get me wrong, I like both guys a lot. I mean, I picked them both like a lot, especially Jack. I picked him in all his fights. But, man, Kevin at 170, I think, is a different beast a little bit, too. And especially when he does decide to grapple, right? He has that different element. With Jack, it's pure striking, and the striking's elite, don't get me wrong. But with Kevin, his striking's really good, too, and he can grapple you. So I feel like he's a little dangerous in more areas of the game. Marcel, like, I'm leaning towards Holland a little bit here, and I got to pick a dog on this card. It's not like I can't pick a dog. He's the one dog I'm looking at. I like Kevin Holland a little bit in this fight. I favor him a little bit. So as a plus 100, yeah, I mean, that's my lean. It's just kind of hard to say how exactly the fight's going to go because Jack on the feet is just so dangerous. I just think Kevin can make it a gritty fight can get him maybe down. Maybe he can get, or just take his back or a neck in a scramble or something potentially as well. Good.
Can I ask you a question? If Della Maddalena doesn't fight Hafez, what would be your pick? Would it be the same?
I'm not sure. That's a great question, but it's hard to say. I let me see. When did that fight happen? Was it after the?
Yeah, it was, I think, in July or in August.
Oh, it was okay. So the Holland fight was actually after that with Chiesa. Yeah, Marcel, I possibly would have a different pick. You know what? I might, but again, I think Holland's good. Like I pick Holland a lot too in his fights. It's not like I don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
He has so much experience in the UFC now. He fights so often. I'm a big fan of. This is a hard fight to pick, because both guys are so good. Again, not a fight. I don't want to bet on this fight because there's other fights in the card that I feel more confident in, Marcel. But like, if you're asking me who I'm going to pick, I'm going to pick Kevin Holland ever so slightly to win this fight. That's my pick here. So Marcel needs a louder audio. Oh, I don't know. Someone says it's fine though, so I'm not sure.
Okay,
Paul, what's up, brother? How's it going, man? Glad to have you here. Paul fell asleep though during the main card last night. He's in England, so he was tired. Yeah, exactly. Holland's tough to finish, man. And he did lose to Wonder Boy, but it was like injury, right, or a corner stoppage, right? I think he broke his hand or something. So, anyways, it should be good. All right, let's go to the last fight here, guys. Main event: Alexa Grasso taking on Valentina Shevchenko, the rematch, and the line is dropping. So the odds were like way higher this week. I think you could have got Grasso plus 195, and now it's minus 160 for Valentina, plus 130 for Grasso. So the odds are really coming down here. There is significant money coming in on the champion Alexa Grasso, and Marcel, I got to be honest with you, man. I'm picking her too. I didn't pick her in the first fight. I picked Valentina, and Valentina I think was winning the fight up until she made that mistake with that spinning kick and then got taken down and submitted. But I got to go with Grasso. I do feel like she's gonna win the fight again. I think Valentina's on the decline, man. I really do now. Now that we've seen Tyler Santos fighting against Blanchfield didn't look great. And, Valentina, I thought, lost that fight. And then, she lost this fight. I think she's not as good as she used to be. She is getting, I wouldn't say she's old, but she's 35, same age as me, a few months older than me. She's 35 now. So, saw Israel Adesanya, guys, same thing, right? You start to get to your mid-30s, you start to decline. Just hit that decline phase. It's like these elite, great fighters. They finally hit that wall. And Grasso, tons of experience in the UFC as well. Very young still. She's only, she doesn't say very young, but she's 30. She just turned 30 a few weeks ago. In the prime of her career, 5-fight win streak. She's leveled up. We've always known she's had good striking, but now she's really showing off the grappling chops. I think Valentina is beatable on the ground again. I think that's how this will go. So I expect another competitive fight, but I do think that Grasso will mix in the grappling a little bit here. Very competitive fight. I'm kind of like on the fence between a decision and a submission, Marcel, to be honest with you. But I am going to lean towards Grasso to win. I see all that money coming in on her too this week. I was already leading her, and then I see the money coming in, and it makes me feel a little better about it because clearly there's some heavy hitters nailing that line on Grasso. Because look at the odds, guys. It was plus 195 a month ago. Now it's plus 130. So tons of money coming in. Or you might see the line tighten up even more. I'm actually curious to hear your thoughts on this fight. What do you think, man?
So yeah, I was like, after the fight, Valentina was like, no fluky win, blah blah blah, and I was like, there wasn't a fluky win. It's not like he dominated the fight, it was kind of close in my opinion. She was 2-1, I think would have been 2-2 if it went to the 5th round. So it's like, Valentina did an interview with Dennis, my colleague, right? And she was like, Alexa has a chance fighter. And then Dennis was like, what do you mean with a chance fighter? She's like, she doesn't have a game plan. She's just waiting. And then she is lucky when she gets a good shot and then she can win the fight. So I was like, she's still either salty or she's still in denial, I don't know. But also against Santos, I think Santos could have won that fight against her, and then she loses to Grasso. Man, I also have the feeling that Grasso is going to win again, for some reason. I think Grasso is like playing her own game, in my opinion, and she does well. I'm thinking Grasso by decision. I don't think she finishes her again, but I'm thinking Grasso with decision. It's crazy, man. If you asked me a year ago, I would never say this, but
I know.
I really feel like Grasso is actually going up, and I feel like Shevchenko is a little bit stationary or maybe even going down. So I'm going with Grasso.
All right, hit the button, Marcel. Woof, woof. Play it.
Okay, let me see.
Let's go, because we finally have a consensus dog. I think it's the first one we've had in a couple cards now.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you guys are. I think I kind of agree with you guys. Yeah, No, we both got a dog here. So I actually picked two dogs. I had Holland and Grasso, although the Holland line might switch. You had Jasmine, right? That was your dog, and then
and Lacerda.
Your boy Lacerda is gonna get smoked again, bro. He's gonna look like fucking Davison Figueiredo for about 2 minutes, and then he's gonna look like Francisco Figueiredo for the rest of the fight. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that preview. We're gonna really quickly go over the Dana White's Contender Series this week. I'll pull it up right now for us, but really quick on this one, Marcel, because I gotta get out of here in a second.
Yeah, sure thing.
This is we got the preview, the speed show today, Marcel. But week 6, crazy. Okay, James. It says 2 L's in a row, by the way.
Yeah, 2 L's. Yeah.
What the fuck? It's such a weird name. James Lawn Top against Malik Lewis. Odds for this one. The odds have.
I think his parents had a stutter or something, maybe.
Oh, really? Minus 190 in Lawn Top, plus 145 Malik Lewis. I guess I would lean Lawn Top. These Peruvian guys are pretty good, but I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
Contender Series. It's not easy to
I
predict.
know the Lewis fought last year against Trevor Peak.
He looked good, but then he gassed, right? That's what happened. But I mean, a lot of finishes. Again, I would never bet on this fight. AJ Cunningham taking on Steve Wynn. I think he's like the Ninja or something. Is that his nickname? Yeah, the Ninja. It's a pretty cool nickname. This is his 3rd time on Contender, by the way.
By the way, Knox, that was the silver block I used, man.
Minus 250 on Steve Wynn. Okay, so he's favored, and AJ Cunningham is plus 185. What do you think?
I honestly think AJ Cunningham can win the fight, man, to be really honest. Steve Wynn, didn't he fought Adrian Yanez in the Contender Series before?
It's right here. It's Elon Cruz he got knocked out by, and then he beat Theo Relang or something.
Sorry.
That's okay. You don't apologize. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
So bend your knees and beg for forgiveness.
Yeah. It sounds kind of weird, dude. It sounds kind of gay, but I don't know.
Oh my god, this freaking guy. But yeah, no, that's my thoughts on that one. What's the next fight? We got Gene Matsumoto taking on Casey Tanner. I gotta be honest, I don't know much about these guys. What's this? Yeah, odds for this one. Matsumoto minus 150, Tanner plus 115. I don't know who these guys are, I'll be honest with you. Like, again, I don't want to come here, guys, saying like the Contender Series preview. Don't listen to the betting advice for this. This is just a quick preview. That's all it is, a bonus. The other advice, I'm trying my best to give you really good advice, but these guys, it's like it's so much work to do all the tape study for these guys. You know what I mean? I don't have that free time anymore to do it for the Contender guys. If they go to the UFC, I'll do it. But right now, I'm looking at 2 guys who are unbeaten. I have no fucking clue who's going to win. You have any idea?
No.
I don't even want to give a lean. I guess the guy who's favored should win.
I know you're not at Godinez, and the next fight he is a former Glory kickboxer, so that's why.
Yes, Joanta Godinez against Eduardo Neves, and then Godinez. I think he's favored. Let me pull it up here. I'm pretty sure he's the favorite, and he actually has a lot of experience in kickboxing, right?
Yeah.
He is minus 125 and Neves minus 105. I'm actually looking at Godinez here. I actually kind of lean him quite a bit. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
You do? You like him? Okay, so there you go. And then finally we have Julia Palastri against Patricia Alugas. She's what country is that?
Paraguay.
Oh, Paraguay. Yeah, nice.
I think Palastri fought against Jasmine.
She was in, yes. Yeah. No, it was someone. It was Jasmine. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I think I guess Palastri wins.
Yeah, she's minus 400. She should win. The other girl's plus 275. Alrighty. Well, that's pretty much it. Yeah, Marcel, was a really quick preview there. Is there anything else, Marcel, you wanted to talk about really quick before we get out of here?
No, man.
Got 2 minutes left.
Was fun, dude. But I'm honestly kind of listen, man. I love doing this, but I'm happy that I can go outside because it's fucking hot in here. So.
I know. I'm feeling hot too, actually, to be honest with you. So I definitely feeling that. All right, let's just end the podcast, guys. Once again, appreciate you guys joining us. We're not going to do the podcast Monday night this week. We'll be back next Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern. But until then, hope you guys have a great week. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about the podcast. I apologize for last week. Someone had messaged me saying that I didn't put it up on iTunes and Spotify quickly enough.
How dare you?
I know it's my fault. Like I said, I was moving, so I completely forgot. To be honest, I forgot. It's not like it doesn't automatically. I have to do it on the next morning. So I'll try to get this up tomorrow. Should be up even sooner for that guy and for other people that are listening. So appreciate you guys checking it out, though. If you guys do listen on audio, that's always good as well. YouTube, whatever you guys want. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Hope you guys have a great week. We'll be back next week. We'll recap Noche UFC and then preview UFC Vegas. PC of which one?
79.
79. So too bad it's not 69, Marcel. Too bad it's not 69. Anyways, guys, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.